What's good, YouTube? It's Quasar,
And Nova,
and we're the
Chronomaly
Chronomaly
Kings.
Kings. So sorry we're a little bit late. I know this came out first thing this morning, but we finally have our TCG ban list, and I think this takes effect in like
10 days.
so the 31st. All right, so that's pretty sweet.
So it's
Actually, that's
Duelist Saga.
That's when Duelist Saga comes out because we know like a lot of these cards actually got reprinted. So
yeah,
that's why we knew that they'd be coming back. So anyways, let's jump right into it. Forbidden, we got Magispector Unicorn Kieran, the Tyrant Neptune, and Vanity's Emptiness.
So those three, Kieran was obviously
we kind of
well
saw
expected.
that coming.
The card just right now is so broken in any pendulum-based deck that's like crazy good.
Yeah, like
Just-
Metal Foes were always playing it. Odd Eyes was playing it. Like the card was way too broken. The fact that you can just pendulum summon, bounce something back to bounce back another monster, and the fact that it was also untargetable and can't be destroyed by card effects. Extremely broken, so that obviously makes sense. Tyrant Neptune, I know dinosaurs are coming out in April.
There was some loop that made this card really broken.
Yeah,
so that makes sense. And Vanity's Emptiness, probably the next kind of broken card. It just the fact that
it hurts a lot of decks because I know a lot of decks like to main it.
But just the fact on it is, you flip Vanity's Emptiness
while you have an established board
and you win.
Yeah. If
your opponent doesn't have the out to the Vanities, you win. That was the thing with Vanity's Emptiness. It's just a stun card.
Yeah, that card was like, it was way too broken.
It essentially was just stun your board, and if you could win.
I mean, it was good and bad. It was good when you activated it, but it's bad when your opponent
activated it. But I'm kind of glad it's going to 0, because, I mean, it makes it more fair.
Yeah.
So that's it for Forbidden. I really feel like the Forbidden this time didn't really hurt as much.
Yeah, I was actually surprised.
Like the Kieran doesn't really kill anything. The Vanities doesn't kill anything. These two really just hurt, like take away the power in certain decks.
I'm also surprised Norden didn't get banned.
That's true. For Limited, probably the biggest.
Max C. That's actually crazy. It was already at 2, but now that it's at 1, it's going to be a lot more difficult to open that Max C or to have that Max C when your opponent goes off. So that'll make it a lot easier for your opponent to just go off because you have that much less chance of dropping Max C.
Yeah. So. And then next up, we got all of these are eroded. So 1, Rescue Cat, Rotted Effect, Brionic, Rotted Effect, Brain Control, Eroded, Future Fusion, and then Imperial Order.
All of them have been eroded, and they're all coming out in the new Duelist Saga, so that's pretty sweet. So, I actually want like at least 1 copy of all of them just because
to have them.
They're really cool. They're really good cards. I mean, I think now that this is back though, it's gonna be like a staple because this will probably just replace the
Vanity's Emptiness.
No, this will replace the anti-spell fragrance.
Oh yeah, that's true. But it's at 1, so... Anyway, semi-limited, I feel like that changes the game a little bit.
So Wisdom Eyes back to 2, so you have a chance to open 2 of them, which is pretty busted because you can set both of them in your scales, activate both, pop them both, set up your actual legitimate scales, and now you have... Both of them are level 4, so you can go into like an easy rank 4 by just pendulum summoning
them back. So it
makes
what I'm hearing is it makes magicians a little bit faster.
Yes.
We have Zodiac Rat Pier, basically going to hurt certain zoo decks. Not every zoo deck. I know this is gonna sound weird, but like not every zoo deck needs the 3 of them. I think semi-limiting Rat Pier kind of makes
slows it down, but it's still playable.
Yeah.
So it's still strong enough to abuse.
I feel the card's good in any deck. Realistically, zoo it'll be good in any deck realistically. That, in my opinion, that uses the Zodiac deck more as an engine rather than and the main win condition. Like, obviously, the zoos are going to be really strong, but I feel like if you just use the zoos where, you know, you get them off, you make the 2 Tridents and you sit there, and then you have the rest of your other deck to play. Whereas if you're making pure zoos, the Rat Pier at 2, like, kills that deck roughly.
Yeah, that's true. And then Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, which so many people play at 3. It's really broken.
I mean,
So,
honestly, like
at 2, it doesn't really even hurt that much.
it doesn't hurt that
I
much.
would have thought that card would go to 1, but at 2, I mean, it's still definitely
It just weakens.
playable.
It weakens.
It's just you won't see it as much, but
And then
I think 2 is still decent.
And then for unlimiteds, we got Sangan.
Yeah, so they went with Sangan from banned right back to 3. I don't know why they didn't bring Sangan back on the other ban list because it was already errataed. I know it's significantly weaker, but it's still a decent card nonetheless.
It's decent, but it's not going to be fast.
Yeah, I mean, this card could still probably help Burning Abyss, but it's,
A little bit.
again, it's not as good as the pre-eroded Sangan with, like, Tour Guide into Sangan, overlay into Dante, detach the Sangan, search for whatever monster, and then from
send
there...
3, and then you could do more plays. Yeah, unfortunately, like, that's not going to be how it goes, but, because you can't normal summon or set the monster that was added.
Yeah. Another thing though with the limited, I was surprised that Toad and Omega didn't get hit at all. So that's pretty sweet. They're still at 3, still pretty expensive.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for the meta wise, like this doesn't really change the meta too much. I mean, the Zodiac Rat Pier I think is going to be the biggest change this year. We're going to see a smaller showing of pure zoos anyway, but I think we're still gonna see variety of zoos still, because let's face it, honestly, pure zoos is really
it's not even the best.
It's
like
not
there's
the
a
best
lot
as
of
it
decks
has been.
that still like you want to be mixing zoos with like kaijus, you want to be mixing it with like another engine like Metalfoes, even something like that.
Exactly.
I think zoos are just an engine versus a pure deck.
Exactly. I think that, I think the same way.
But yeah, obviously Rat is your main combo piece, but putting it to 2 slightly slows it down, but doesn't completely cripple the deck.
So just putting it at 2 makes it so you can, like, you just don't have the ability to go Emerald as much as easy as you did before.
Exactly.
Whereas I feel like at 2 it still makes the ability to use the engine, which is still going to be very good for people who didn't commit to the pure version.
But yeah, if you want like a lot of these cards, you should just pick up the Duelist Saga that comes out on the 31st. It'll have all of these cards that are eroded, so that's really cool.
So definitely going to be set. Honestly, for this ban list, the only thing I'm really disappointed with is the Maxi of 1. I really think is going to be.
That's a heavy hit because Maxi is so good. Everyone's playing it.
You have to rely on it, and I feel like with the Maxi now at 1, I mean, you're gonna still see play. It's still gonna see that play.
People are still gonna be playing it at 1, but
it's not as good as it used to be. I think like if you open it, it's like okay, good, but it's gonna be something.
It's just a lot harder to see.
It's gonna be something like if your opponent Maxis, but like I mean, the good thing that comes out of Maxi at 1 is you're not going to have that chance of drawing that Maxi.
Yeah, that's so true.
But anyway, leave in the comment section below what you guys think of this deck, or think
the
of
new
the
ban
list. How's it going to affect your deck is what I was going to say. How's it affect your deck? Are you happy with this ban list? Are you not happy with this ban list? What would you change? What would you add to the list? Maybe something like we were really surprised that Harpy's Feather Duster didn't come back to 1.
Yeah, especially with that other Harpy's Trap card that's coming out.
You know.
I mean, at least Heavy Storm, like, come on.
Something. It's just something to deal with a little bit of back row, because back row's become a big
problem.
Thing. And like I feel like if Heavy Storm or Harpy's Feather Duster came out, back row would become more like people would be like, okay, I'm seeing that, like I'm gonna play less back row as well, and I think that would have shifted the meta a little bit.
Reservant on setting their back row.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So,
but anyways, remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you
next time.
Your move, your move, your move.